First alert, the Waupun Correctional Institution prison warden who stepped down amid ongoing federal investigations is jailed just hours before a planned press conference. Online records show that Randall Hepp was booked into Dodge County Jail earlier this morning. The Dodge County Sheriff's Office is holding a press conference at 1 this afternoon on the investigation into the deaths of 4 inmates at Waupun Correctional. Records show that he and several others were arrested and are charged, but we do not yet have details of those charges. State Senator Van Wangard told the Associated Press that the warden and numerous other employees will be charged with crimes related to their work at the prison. As we've reported, 4 people have died at the prison since June of last year. We know that 1 died by suicide, 1 died of a fentanyl overdose, another died of a stroke, and a 4th person was found dead in February. All of this comes as prison warden Hepp stepped down last week amid that ongoing federal investigation into an apparent smuggling ring at the prison. At least 11 employees have been suspended in connection to the probe. Authorities say they will note the shortfalls identified through the investigation. Of course, WBAY will be live streaming that press conference at 1. We'll bring you first alert updates as we learn more.